साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है, तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है। मिले न स्वर्ग में वो सुख लुटाने वाला है, तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है।
When you start counting with the steps, rather Baba says, you just remain conscious, I am always there with you. It's just switching on and switching off. Sometimes we wonder, many souls, they think they are very intellectual people. How can it be so simple? Baba says, just say hello Baba and you will be with Baba. How can that be? Baba is so far, far away. But have you ever churned about the speed of your thought? Your thought travels at such a high speed What travels at the maximum speed, we know. We used to hear the light, 180,000 miles per second. But the thought travels much, much faster than that. And all the confusion which gets created suddenly is only because of the thought process. If we had taken care of the thought process, things would have been very good all the time. Due to circumstances, due to previous upbringing, due to wrong conceptions sometimes, the thought process becomes negative. Now this is where empowering of the thought is needed. When I want to experience Baba all the time, Baba says, he doesn't say, sit like this, take the rosary in your hand, take the murli in your hand. Okay, for preparation you may do that. But what is the process? Within a moment you are with Baba. He says, just say hello Baba and you are there.
तुम्हें पाके हमने जहाँ पा लिया है, ज़मीं तो ज़मीं आसमां पा लिया है।
बचपन के दिन भुला न देना,
महकोगे फूल बन के इस जहान में, महकोगे फूल बन के इस जहान में, चमकोगे चांद से अंधकार में, चमकोगे चांद से अंधकार में। तुम सृष्टि के श्रृंगार हो, तुम बहार हो। तुम सृष्टि के श्रृंगार हो, तुम बहार हो।
Om Shanti. Experience the stage of being ignorant of the knowledge of desires and give others this experience. A complete renunciate. Become a complete renunciate and consider yourself to be a responsible soul in every elevated task. In the task of success in service, in the task of the progress of Brahmin souls, in the task of transforming the atmosphere of weakness or waste as you move along. Be ignorant of the knowledge of desire, of limited actions, and of the temporary desire of receiving limited fruits. Those who constantly eat fresh instant fruit are always healthy in their mind. They will constantly be healthy and in a stage of man mana bhav. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today is day 26. Experience the stage of being ignorant of the knowledge of desires and give others this experience. Today's topic, a complete renunciate. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone good? Okay? Yes? Mhm. So, Shanti One campus is quite big. And they have built all these Ananda Sarovar, Gyan Sarovar, Man Sarovar, all these names, and the huge buildings. Not only 500 can stay, but big hall also. I was yesterday invited to media conference, and as you know that the theme which is chosen for last year or this year beginning is to have a happy and healthy society, spiritual empowerment. So they had conference, and so they asked me to come, and I did go, and the hall was full. And then there is another conference happening, is the business people, business wing, Diamond Hall, about 2,000 of them. They're expecting another 2,000, 4,000. Then they have third one, security. So that is happening. And so many, everyone is busy. Every bhavan is full. And this they had been doing it after Raksha Bandhan in August. They started in September. And then by mid-October, very soon, Baba's season begins. So then they are full with Baba's children, 12,000, 10,000, 8,000, whatever. So when you think of even the food was provided in that building, and they cook good food, not just give anything, right? So, but after spending about half an hour, 45 minutes, a lot of thoughts came in my mind that how do we serve these souls in a way that they get it properly. So I thought that for ourselves first, we create certain short practices like soul consciousness, connection with Baba, or experiencing returning home. And just talk little and share that practice. And then talk little and share. Maybe they will get much more because people have different background, different, all different intellect, but also a lot of other thoughts that now is the time when thousands will come. Then how do we just give them experience? Of course, through our personality, whatever they could take it, but also through the words, we can guide them properly. And these were my thoughts, right? So, complete renunciate. So, Baba says, become complete renunciate and consider yourself to be a responsible. Consider yourself to be responsible soul in every elevated work. In the task of success and service, in the task of the progress of Brahman souls, in the task of transforming the atmosphere of the weakness or waste as you move along. There's always possibility of changing the route. We start talking about something, and sometimes then we just move in direction where we find now we gone in the waste, we gone in the past, or we gone into someone's weaknesses. So our duty is to immediately change it, right? So Baba says that be ignorant of the knowledge of the desire of limited actions and of temporary desire or receiving limited fruits. So those who constantly eat fresh fruit, people eat that, are always healthy in their mind. They will constantly be healthy and in a stage of manmanabha. Brahma Baba's mind was healthy, right? Of course, his body, everything. So he was able to be in consistent remembrance, manmanabha. Never we saw much gap. Maybe, as Baba says, I also forget. It's not I remember all the time. So maybe he forgot, but he didn't go into like forgetfulness. And for us, sometimes we go really far while talking or doing something. And then again to move back to Baba's remembrance take time. But actually, more we practice, whatever is coming in the mind, renounce that. First, renounce that, and then see the clarity which comes. help which you get from Baba, the company you experience, the presence is there. And then you know that Baba is the companion. Baba is with me at every step. So automatically the power, the help, happiness, everything is experienced. So we take this homework for us to check and then make efforts more and more of being in remembrance of Baba. That's the ultimate stage. Not far from Baba, in the sense of few hours, you just don't remember Baba. Even traffic control is every hour. And we look at, did I do Manmanabhav? Was I able to be in remembrance of one? And that's the best way to stop your wasteful thoughts, right? Either in 3 dots, you can find result of 1 dot, 2nd dot, 3rd dot. Right? So this is what confluence age, our stage is. And then you check what was blocking, and that renunciation of there is something within you. So it's a beautiful, beautiful homework. Home. Hmm.
Unmute. Om Shanti, Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti.
Good to see you.
Welcome to Shantivan.
That feels so good. You know, you bring the whole family with you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and lots of love to my angelic family, the Avyakti Parivar. Wow, this homework is really timely for me. There's one phrase in it that's almost seems in the Lokic world opposite, to be a renunciate and also be responsible.
Mhm.
Yet Baba, he is not only telling us, but he's also teaching us to understand the difference. Do you think you could explain a little bit before we go further? You know, we're renouncing and we're being responsible. So what is it that we need to renounce? And if Baba made it clear what our task is, but am I lacking faith in something? What is it that I need to surrender so that it becomes easy to be responsible?
Expectations, result of our whatever we're doing. I remember that even the tiredness comes from expectations. One time I had about 20 teachers from Brazil, and I had to meet everyone, listen to them. So I did 12, and then after that I was a bit tired. So I used to live across Dari Janki's room. So teachers are there, one by one they came. So I told them I need break. I said, it's all right, we will come back. And I went and I was just lying down resting and kind of asking myself, why are you tired? And I realized because I was expecting something different, either their transformation, their commitment, or they should be more responsible, something like that. So I said, let me just listen and let me just say what Baba is saying. Don't go into anything. So what I was deeply realizing, and which I renounced immediately, was the result of every action. Expectations from what I have done, right? So as Baba is saying, the fruit of our own action is a very subtle desire, and that becomes obstacle. But if you just keep doing it, and that is why Didi Manmohini used to give us the title of River Ganges and said, Ganges doesn't count how many took dip in me or how many after taking dip didn't do any sinful action. She doesn't take that duty, right? But she's still responsible that whosoever come with whatever bhavana, they can take a dip. Right? And water will give same experience of coolness and purification or whatever the feelings are. So you are doing what you should be doing. Every element does. Like air doesn't keep asking everyone, are you able to breathe properly? Do you find I am pure, pure air? But she is what she is, right? And she functions. So that means you carry on your responsibility. Many give up, get tired, fed up. I'm not going to do this again. I don't think I can carry on like this. Very subtly, that tiredness comes. But if we just, this is what I have to do, that called responsibility, I think that definitely there will be, you will continue in the task and do what you should be doing, not get disappointed, tired, or give up, or disheartened, you know. So that's how I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, that's so key not to get disheartened, because drama will do its thing. It will unfold, it will challenge, it needs to finish itself out. And yet, when I'm hearing you speak, it really hits home. You really have to have so much faith in yourself. You have to believe in yourself in spite of these sanskars that need to be finished, these old habits that are not serving you. Um, you make a mistake. You shouldn't get disheartened. And perhaps even in those moments of challenge, Mohini Didi, those moments of challenge can also be a window of opportunity, because I may be disappointed. I have to learn that these things do not define me, that who I know doesn't define me.
But
So,
all the time, all the time also don't feel guilty. Don't keep saying, oh, I made mistake.
yes.
Whatever happened at that time was accurate according to drama.
Mhm.
There is some benefit. I remember, generally I'm not strong, but if I am, and then of course there is reaction, or I just immediately do Mansa Seva, good wishes, because that was not the intention, right? Because then you are not affected. Otherwise, say, well, there must be some benefit in that. Drama is always kalyankari. So why am so as much quickly you internally rectify. But if you say, I shouldn't have done this, it shouldn't have been like this, it shouldn't be, so that shouldn't be happening. Sometimes certain things happen, and when we talk about why it happened, and then person says, so I say, okay, but you wanted me to do this. No. She said, not this way. So I said, which way? So then we repeated the words, and I found they were not the way I understood, was completely different. than what way she was to telling me.
Mhm.
And then an action happened. And then we realized this was not also right.
Mhm.
So we don't blame anyone, but somewhere that understanding of the words, and especially if you are rushing, so you do not say full sentence properly. So you understand the way you understand, and things happen differently. But then also we don't blame each other. We don't say that you didn't wanted this or but what we find, it's drama. It had to happen,
Mhm.
you know. But then we come with some experience from that, whatever happened. And Sister Bhumi was saying yesterday we had something like that happen, and I was telling you, but I said the way I was hearing is what I did. So why saying and hearing was different? Drama, no?
Mhm.
But we learned a big lesson that you can be available, but you have to be careful too.
Yes,
Because
Didi.
everywhere the culture is different. You want to give blessing, people come, want to touch the feet, and they want photograph. But you can't do that, right?
Mhm.
And especially paying more attention to not be, it's like just give blessings. So what I'm saying,
Mhm.
drama is so powerful. At that time, your mind, intellect works completely under that. So it's not we are taking excuse or forgiving ourselves by saying drama, but also it had to happen. So
Mhm.
don't take the burden of that. Try
Yeah.
to
Okay.
learn, understand, and move forward. That is very, very important.
Yes, Didi, as you speak, and it's interesting because you're really answering all the questions that I had in my mind in regards to this in renunciation and also being responsible and not and learn from the mistake. You have to make them. You have to lose a few checker pieces when you play the game of life, right? And
Even that might not be a mistake, no?
right, exactly. Thank
We
you.
say that's not a mistake, that had to be done. That's the moment you had to do that. You did it. And
Mhm.
if you keep saying it was my mistake, my misunderstanding, you realize move forward now. Don't keep thinking, oh, I did mistake. That's heaviness.
Oh, yeah, it's waste. You can't uplift the atmosphere of waste if you are holding on to these mistakes or episodes in the drama that didn't appeal to you. But one word you used, a beautiful verb that you used was do not rush. And I noticed this in you, Didi, even in a domestic setting or, an informal setting, your manner is very refined, very calm.
Mhm.
You take your time. And this is also a sanskar that Brother Nirvair has.
Mhm.
Or I can't say had, he still has this
Mhm.
beautiful sanskar of taking his time. And it's like between the words is filled so much yoga power and so much love. And perhaps this could be a new traffic control for this soul anyway,
Mhm.
to take my time.
But
I mean,
also sometimes I remember in everywhere, but in USA,
mhm,
when I came, we talking very fast. Everyone talks so fast, and which they feel should be. So one time I told to a soul, "Why you talk so fast?" She said, otherwise people will sleep, you know. So you have to keep them awake by keep talking very fast. But then when you want people to experience something and you keep saying word peace very fast, but if you say peace and pause for a moment, let them feel the peace. Of course, it's from the vibrations of your stage, all that, but also you give them a moment to feel that word which we have spoken. So that's also the thought behind that, to say, let them listen, understand, feel, and then you move forward. Every sentence.
I wonder, Didi, if you could perhaps reflect on a story that, or something you witnessed of Brother Nirvair, because the role of a senior brother, or actually, the role of brothers is so unique, and especially a senior brother, and how they keep the sisters in front. And in Brother Nirvair's case, he kept the whole family in front and won our hearts. Can you think of a story from your early recollection of Nirvair Bhai, where you saw how he developed in this role as a senior brother? Because Baba didn't have this like pat instruction or explanation of what it takes to be this senior brother. And these amazing souls found their way, and it's unique. So I wonder if you could share a little bit on that, a story.
I think that first thing is that he was very friendly. You know, this is where everything begins. And so when you are friendly, then people feel comfortable to talk to you. Openly say what you have to say. And also kind of trust which begins that when I say I'm not, sometimes people fear speaking because then you will start looking at, like, you express your way of doing something, or it could be a weakness, and then I start looking at you like that. Even with Baba, some said, if I tell Baba my mistake, then Baba will look at me with what I have done, which is never happens. You rather don't look at that soul in that way, so that transformation can happen. So that fear, if I tell this one, now she will think I am this. I am this. But we don't do that, Mostly, I don't know, some do it. Recently, I got a note from somewhere that this soul is going through something, tells the instrument, and instrument announces it in class and starts seeing that soul that way. Naturally, he was very hurt. So he was in contact with us. But what I do generally, if I know, first thing, I don't see that person as that person with that quality or weakness, whatever. So a trust is built that she's not going to treat me now the way I did something. That trust then moves further where you feel help is being given. If I'm not seeing you with your weaknesses, your mistakes, and you say, but I am still seeing you with love and respect, it will help you. And when that help is received, people have their bhavna towards that person. And that's why they become senior, because the way they're thinking is higher. Seniority doesn't mean years, so many years in Gyan, so many. But seniority is where you're taking the responsibility to help the souls, but not changing your vision towards that soul. So it's a very subtle way, uplifting others, empowering others. And that is the role of a senior, isn't it?
That's
You must have,
beautiful.
within Lokik family, if we are 3, 4, even
Mm.
the younger one will be more seen as senior because of responsibility. And responsibility is taking like whatever anyone is younger to you, you don't say anything.
Mhm.
So I think this is where the seniority also comes.
That would surely
Good.
transform the atmosphere. That would change everything. Not only my mistakes, but the mistakes of others is what I'm hearing, Mohini Didi. And seeing things in a more elevated frame of mind, a higher consciousness. It's a whole different way of thinking, actually. Thank you, Didi. This is wonderful.
Yeah, not making it the weapon against that soul by making that soul feel bad, but look what you did, but rather have such an attitude that soul forgets that I did this or I am this.
Mhm,
So the bhavna, the faith emerges in that soul,
mhm,
and then openness comes.
mhm. Beautiful.
So it's
Thank you,
a
Didi.
very, very good balance between being responsible and still be renunciate.
And very successful.
Right.
Yes.
Light,
Thank you.
why Nirvanbhai was able to remain light. When you tell something, he will laugh, smile as if it's all right, it's not a big thing. But doesn't make like, okay, now is the time I have to say something, or very light, very light. So
Yeah,
that more trust.
yeah, I could see that in him if someone was being dramatic and how they were explaining a situation, to be careful. There are wild animals in the jungle. Don't go for a walk. And Niverbai would just come onto he'd go, it's okay. It's so gently and not worry anyone. Oh, we will definitely miss our senior brother, Niverbai ji. And thank you so much, Mohini Didi.
Oh, Shanti, thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Sister Elizabeth. So tomorrow is Friday and our schedule from Amritwila 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. In the evening 5 to 5:15 p.m. Avekti Children Murli class. And then 6 o'clock Bhatti will start, followed by Hindi series, English series, and chit chat. Now let's remember Baba and take Drishti from Didi.
सब कुछ तो मिल गया है तुझे चाहने के बाद, सब कुछ तो मिल गया है तुझे चाह कुछ तो मिल गया है तुझे चाहने के बाद।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
ओम
Om
शांति मम्मी
Shanti.
दीदी।
Thank you,
ओम शांति है
Baba.
व्यक्ति परिवार।
Om
Shanti Didi. Shanti Ajaki Parivar. Hi.
Om Shanti Didi. Om Shanti Didi. Thank you, Shanti.
See you tomorrow.
Om Shanti.
Bye bye.
Shanti Didi. Thank you, Avyakti Pari.
Experience the stage of being ignorant of the knowledge of desires and give others this experience. A complete renunciate. Become a complete renunciate and consider yourself to be a responsible soul in every elevated task. In the task of success in service, in the task of the progress of Brahmin souls, in the task of transforming the atmosphere of weakness or waste as you move along. Be ignorant of the knowledge of desire, of limited actions, and of the temporary desire of receiving limited fruits. Those who constantly eat fresh, instant fruit are always healthy in their mind. They will constantly be healthy and in a stage of man mana bhav.
इच्छा मात्रम अविद्या की स्थिति का अनुभव करो और कराओ। सर्वंश त्यागी ऐसे सर्वंश त्यागी बन सदा हर श्रेष्ठ कार्य में सेवा की सफलता के कार्य में ब्राह्मण आत्माओं की उन्नति के कार्य में कमजोरी व व्यर्थ वातावरण को बदलने के कार्य में जिम्मेवार आत्मा समझकर चलो। हद के कर्म का हद के फल पाने की अल्पकाल की इच्छा से इच्छा मात्रम अविद्या बनो, तो सदा प्रत्यक्ष फल खाने वाले सदा मन दुरुस्त होंगे। सदा स्वस्थ होंगे, सदा मन मना भव होंगे। ओम शांति।